This is Alan Ball.
Hi, this is Audrey Fisher.
This is Jim Perry.
Hi, this is Kristen Bauer.
Hi, this is Alexander Skarsgård.
This is Nelson Ellis.
Hi, this is Johnny Neal.
This is Rayo Tucker. Hi, this is Lindsay Pulsifer.
Hi, this is Ryan Quanton from True Blood. Hello, this is Theo Alexander.
Hey, this is Lauren Bowles.
Hi, this is David Tishman.
This is Chase Everett.
Hello, this is Janina Gavankar.
This is James Frayne.
Hi, this is Courtney Ford, and you're listening to True Blood Radio.
This is Liz.
This is Mal.
Welcome to True-Blood.net podcast number 147 for the week of August 21st, 2011. We're coming right down to the end here as far as the episodes go, so we're going to discuss the episode Let's Get Out of Here in just a moment. But first, we've got a few news items that we want to get to, including new projects for Anna Paquin and possibly Joe Manganiello. We don't know, haven't heard a final word on that yet. Later in the show, we'll bring you the synopsis for the final 2 episodes of the season. That'll be in our spoilers section a little later on. So, Mel, start us off.
Well, Joe Manganiello is in final talks to play Big Dick Ritchie in a Steven Soderbergh movie called Magic Mike. It's a film about male strippers, and it has a drool-worthy cast. I know Matt Bomer's going to be in it, and I mean, the list of hotties that are going to be in this show are enough to maybe get me over my squeamishness about male strippers.
Anna Paquin returns to Shreveport, Louisiana for a movie with Ryan Phillips titled, not Phillips, but Philippe. That's titled Straight A's. This one is a comedy about a man who's been in and out of rehab for about 10 years. He finally returns home to Shreveport and his family. Anna plays his brother's wife who still has the hots for him. So they've already begun shooting in Shreveport. So if you're out and about, see if you can keep your eyes open for either one of them.
Ryan Quanten's new movie, Griff the Invisible, opened on Friday, and we launched a new contest in honor of that. We are giving away 5 Griff theatrical posters to our Twitter followers. All you have to do is follow us to win and retweet a comment about Griff. You can find information on that at True-Blood.net or follow us at True-Blood.net on Twitter, and we're periodically posting the information again. Look for the news item, tweet to win a Griff the Invisible poster. Contest ends this Friday, August 26th, so you still have plenty of time to enter, and we will be having an opportunity for our non-Twitterers to win those posters as well, so stay tuned.
And there's still time to enter our current giveaway for the V-Moda headphones and earphones. That ends Thursday night, August 25th. The first name drawn will win the headphones, and the second name drawn will win the in-the-ear revamps. So head on over there and enter.
And finally, HBO released 15 new promo stills, which you can see posted under the Photos tab on our site. Most of them were for previous episodes and then for this week's episode, so we've got some good shots there. One of my favorites is of Terry of Andy and Jason behind the truck while that all's going down with Mavis/Lafayette and Jesus. But you can find those under the Photos tab. And also in our news section, you can see the super hot scan of Alexander Skarsgård on the fall-winter cover of GQ Style Germany. Check those out. So we've got some new features on the site at True-Blood.net. We want to remind you to check out Billy Dew's recap of Let's Get Out of Here. She always provokes quite a conversation. We encourage you to stop in and join the conversation about this week's episode.
And our Friday 5 for the week, well, last week it was the villains of True Blood, and this week we've got the heroes of True Blood. Picked out 5 of my favorites. Go on over there at True-Blood.net and check it out. Compare it with your own list.
The fashion Q&A this week is that red lingerie set. This episode, actually it hadn't even ended yet before my inbox was being bombarded with questions. So that is on the site this week. And we also have Sookie's olive green jacket from The Witch War with a kind of a funny comment there from Audrey. And last week, a lot of you were asking about Sookie's white flowy t-shirt that she was wearing in Eric's hidey hole. We have the answer for that for you, as well as Alcide's gorgeous leather jacket. So be sure to check out the fashion column at True-Blood.net.
Personally, I think Alcide looks better without the jacket, but y'all wanted to know, so. Finally, don't forget to stop in to the HBO shop. They've got a couple of new items there this week, including the Festival of Tolerance poster. that we saw in the episode this week, and it features Nan and King Bill on the poster. Also, they've got the new T-shirt that says "Say No to Hate," and the 4th issue of the True Blood comic, which is called The French Quarter. Head on over to True-Blood.net. We've got a little link up for you for the HBO shop.
Well, summer is coming to a close. It's your last chance to hang out in the hammock and read a good book. Audible is offering True Blood Radio viewers a free audiobook download with a free 14-day trial to give you a chance to check out their service. Perfect for hanging out by the pool if you don't want anyone to know what you're listening to. You can download your freebie by going to audibletrial.com/trueblood. You'll find all 11 Sookie Stackhouse books available in audiobook format, plus hundreds of other titles. Again, that's audibletrial.com/trueblood for your free audiobook.
All right, well, now we're going to head into our episode discussion, this week's episode. Let's get out of here. A lot happened, a ton happened, and there's a lot to pick apart. So, I don't know, you want to start out with Sookie's dream?
You know, I think we should, since that was what had a lot of people talking on the way into this episode last week. And, you know, there were quite a few comments saying, why not? I would. Not realizing that it was a dream. A lot of people didn't realize it was going to be a dream. We had been teased with a threesome with Sookie, Bill, and Eric. And there were some comments, you know, saying, yeah, yay, go Sookie. Then there was a lot of other comments saying, that's not like her, that's wrong, I'm going to quit watching the show if they do this. You know, just really unhappy about even the thought of it. And there were a few comments about, they're just ruining Charlene's work. This is not accurate. Well, guess what, you guys? This is from the books. It's a passage in book 5, and we quoted it on the site along with a poll asking you if you thought that the TV version was hotter or not versus the book version. And one of the options is I didn't know that this was in the books. And as of right now, about 27% of respondents had clicked that they had no idea that it was in the books. So just, you know, I think it's a little bit of a cautionary comment that don't assume that something is what it's not, or that it's not in the spirit of the show, because there have been a lot of things that have been inspired by the books that people have forgotten that it was part of the books. So
yeah, you know, I totally forgot that was in the book until you actually mentioned it. And then when I actually thought that the whole dream sequence was kind of funny. I was laughing, you know, except when it came to the part when Sookie said, you know, hey, you know, it's my turn, and I think I want it to be you guys are mine instead of the other way around. I, you know, gave a big hoot and holler and cheer because, you know, well, yeah, you know, we're all Team Sookie, and I think she's got it good. Who wouldn't want to be in her shoes? I know I would, and I just thought that was perfect, and she was totally right. But then when you know, you put that in with you couple that with the fact that, yeah, that was actually in the book, and we actually were inside Sookie's head in the book, except that Alan Ball actually brought that out for us to see. It made it even funnier, because this is the funny, snarky Sookie that we love. And being in her head, when you read the books, being in her head was often funny. It really was. So, you know, I think that the dream did everything that it was supposed to do, and more.
Mm-hmm. I really liked that it gave us a glimpse, like you said, inside Sookie's head, because we rarely get that, where in the books, of course, that's all it was. So this was, I thought, a creative way to give us that. But it also let us see her version, what she sees when she sees Bill, what she sees when she sees Eric. And, you know, there's been a lot of debate, you know, Team Eric, Team Bill, whatever. And the fact that she's saying, I want to love you both. I love you both. And why can't we make that work where it can be all three of us? You know, that's obviously, in real life, it's just not practical, considering that, I mean, the two guys that she's talking about, I have a feeling that's never going to work for them. They would never agree to it. But these are her deepest thoughts. These are her feelings, her emotions coming out here, that she loves both of them. She's torn over it, just as there's debate within the fandom between which man she should choose. She's debating that within herself. And so I thought it was nice that we got to see that, but in kind of a funny, very Sookie way. I really liked getting to see Bill as she sees him, because for me, he's awfully broody. And I like him a lot this season as the man in charge, the vampire in charge, the King of Louisiana. I'm liking him with that air of authority. But Sookie, if you go back and look at that scene, he is more lighthearted and even a little bit humorous in her head. And he's also the one that says, Sookie, this isn't you. This is what you're thinking here with a threesome. This isn't you. He knows her really well, and of course this is also her subconscious talking to her. But I like that we got to see Bill through her eyes, the Bill that she loved. And then we also had Eric in her mind. This Eric was a combination of Amnesia Eric, the sweet loving man, and badass Eric that she met first. So it's an amalgamation of the two personalities that she's in love with, which I think bodes well for the future of Eric and Sookie on the show. If we're seeing that, yes, she's acknowledging that, yes, she is attracted to that Eric, to both sides of Eric that she's seen. So I just thought it was just a really terrific sequence, just really well done. It was funny. It was rah, go Sookie. It was, I just liked it. I liked it a lot.
She turned the tables on him, in her dream. She was able to. She's kind of tired of, here's one arm, here you take one arm, you take the other arm and pull. Whoever gets the biggest piece of me wins. She, in this dream, she kind of said, you know what? This is my choice. It's my decision, not yours. You don't get to tell me you're mine. I get to tell you both. You guys are both mine. And I like that. That's the strong part of Sookie that I really like and have always admired on the show and in the books. And, just showing how these relationships are really making her see things and just kind of study relationships as a whole as far as Sookie is concerned. I'm wondering if that Eric in the dream is going to be the one that we'll see from now on, that nice blend. A lot of people are saying they're tired of this wimpy Amnesia Eric. And I get it. I do get it. Because the reason why everybody liked Eric was because he was such a, in my mind, a jerk. A lovable jerk.
He's the bad boy.
Yeah, he's the bad boy. And everybody likes that, And like we said a couple podcasts ago, Bill and Eric have kind of switched to where, Bill is the strong, dominant bad guy in this season, and Eric is not. Of course, he's the needy little boy. And I hope that the characters actually from here going forward, I hope that this is how they, that Bill stays this Bill, and that Eric is a nice marriage of the two that, the two together. I also think that Sookie, she loves both Bill and Eric, but I think that for Bill, it's going to be, I love you as my best friend. Because he does know her. You're right. He knows her. And I think it was interesting, even though this is her dream and her subconscious, it was interesting that her subconscious used Bill to do the talking, as far as, that's not you, Sookie. Eric gets her, but Bill knows her, if you know what I'm saying. Eric understands her, but Bill actually, he really got a chance to know her, whereas Eric isn't at that point yet in their relationship. So there's just a lot to pick apart in that scene. It really showed us a whole lot, and I have to say bravo to the writing team and Alan Ball for the idea of doing it that way. I loved it.
Yeah, I thought it was a perfect scene, really.
The music was funny. Yes.
Yeah, the music was funny. I liked what she was wearing. I liked that she, in her mind, that was drop dead sexy.
Yeah.
And she had the heels on. We started laughing when we saw that she was wearing the heels. Because, it's her dream. Why not? She can wear whatever she wants. Mm-hmm. But the red, obviously that's a kind of, the Scarlet Woman, I'm going to be a bad girl now. I'm wearing red lingerie. But it's also, these are two vampires she's talking about, that she's fantasizing about. And so there's that blood connection with both of them. So you have the red with that. I just thought it was visually and it was visually, there were clues about what was going on, and then there were emotional clues about what was going on with her. I really liked it, and I would like to see more of that kind of thing where we are able to get inside Sookie's head and see what she's thinking. Have these kinds of scenes where we can dissect and say, okay, I get it. Mm-hmm. I get what it is about Bill that she has found so appealing and what she's having a hard time letting go of. I like seeing what it is that she sees in Eric, because, he was a jerk before, but she was still attracted. She was still tempted by him.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Who wouldn't be?
Right. So, but being able to see these two men the way that she sees them is something that I feel has been missing from the series. It's been something that it's been difficult to pull over from the books. And it just gives us some wonderful insight into her. And, we're Team Sookie. We want to know. We want to know what she's thinking.
Yeah. Well, and she even said during the dream, I'm going to leave the little girl, nice little girl behind. This is my dream, and I get to do that. I'd like to see her do that when she's not dreaming.
Yeah, see, that's the thing, is this Sookie, she woke up and she was disturbed by what she had dreamt. So, I don't know. I would like to see that strong, take control Sookie out in the real world. But, even in the books, it took her a really long time. A lot happened to her before she was to the point where she was willing to be bold like that.
Yeah.
To say, you know what? This is what I want. This is what I need, or this should not be happening. This is, she has those manners that her grandmother and her parents instilled in her, and that, that Southern way of interacting with people that's polite and gentle. She's a lady. Mm-hmm. And that doesn't always work when you are trying to deal with, a vampire king or a witch who's trying to kill your boyfriend, or,
Right.
She still is learning. She's still learning how to do that.
Right. Yeah. And you're right. It is going to take a long time, and a lot more bad things are going to happen. So, at least we think they are to her. I actually liked how in the beginning, when the scene opened, there was Alcide and Bill. First of all, Alcide was the one that picked her up and ran towards, her house. But as he got close, it was Bill that grabbed her.
Yeah.
And took off. The two of them together I think they were a little humorous. Bill telling Alcide, "Would you just shut up? I got work to do here." And, saying, we're going to have you just pray. And Alcide says, "Pray to who? A werewolf and a vampire? Who are we going to pray to?" Well, there's always Marianne.
Like, I don't care. Yeah. It's like, I don't care. Someone's listening.
Yeah. It's the only thing I know to do. So Sookie wakes up and she sees the two of them, and the first thing she asks is, "Where's Eric?" And a lot of people, are like, "See?" And I have to kind of laugh, because of course she would ask where Eric is. She already knows where these two are.
And the last she saw Eric, he was in the middle of a war.
Right, and he had just attacked somebody. So
now it feels like we missed the scene. There's this massive battle going on in the cemetery. Sookie gets shot, Eric's under Antonia's control, and and then all of a sudden everybody's back at the Festival of Tolerance or the Moon Goddess Emporium, and there's no discussion about this. I feel a little bit like, I just feel like we missed something.
Yeah, I kind of do too. There's a little lag there. Yeah, because a couple people were killed that night, and
right, and it was a major conflict.
Yeah,
I mean, and you had Tara on one side and Sookie on the other side, and she's not. I mean, we didn't really deal with that. We did later on. I really liked that scene between when Tara's holding the gun on Sookie. At first, I was like, "Holy crap, what?" And then, listen to what I'm saying, and that best friend connection coming through, and so she was able to save Sookie and get her out. But, but they were on opposite sides in the cemetery, and we didn't deal with that at all.
Yeah, that's kind of strange. Unless they revisit it later, I don't know. There's always so much going on that sometimes I don't know. Yeah, I kind of feel like there's some things that didn't actually play out or finish. We didn't get.
Yeah, it seems like a scene maybe was cut for time, and I think it was kind of an important scene.
Yeah.
So could we have that back, please?
Yeah. Questions to ask Alan Ball. I don't know. But anyway, getting back to the beginning, did you see how Sookie was actually aggravated with Alcide? And, she was like ignoring him. Did you see him she gave him the brush off.
Yeah, she did. What was that about?
Well, I don't know. I kind of was like, she was probably wondering what the heck he was doing there. I mean, Isn't he supposed to be with Debbie? So I could see she's probably thinking, I don't, thanks for saving me, but, I mean, she didn't even know, actually. I don't think she's aware. But.
No, I don't think she is. I think maybe it was more of she's concerned about Eric, and, obviously she's wanting to be sure she's healed, but it may have been more of why are you here?
Yeah. And then his reaction, I'm done. If this is what you want, then whatever. My knee-jerk reaction was, okay, yeah, then go. You shouldn't be there. You just shouldn't. You need to be with Debbie. You made her a promise. You big jerk. You made her a promise. She saw you break her promise. Get out of Sookie's house. So, I'm probably going to get some hate mail. I don't hate on Alcide. I'm just saying.
He did. He made a promise, and you're right. He shouldn't have. On the one hand, he got her out of there.
Mm-hmm.
She might have died if he hadn't been there. But I don't know. I think she's an addiction for him, and he needs to cut it. And speaking of addictions, Debbie's off the wagon.
Yeah. Now here's conflict, because I don't know. Does she know what she wants? Does she want to be friends with Sookie, or does she want to get her in trouble?
I think that she went to Sookie with the best of intentions. But, every time she shows up on screen, I'm like, oh no. Oh crap. What's she going to do? I don't trust her. But I think she went to Sookie with the best of intentions to talk it out and try to use some of the things that she's learned in therapy, because she's a recovering addict. And I think she wanted to kind of go and talk to her and say, this is what's going on with Alcide, and I need, girl to girl, I need your help with this, which I think was a smart move. And it's not something that you see very often in media. Mm-hmm. It's often that they pit the two women against each other, and that's not really how it needs to be, especially in this case when Sookie doesn't want him.
Right.
I think she appreciates him at this point as a friend and as a warm body to hug periodically, but she's not. I think she respects the fact that he's with Debbie, and which is great. It's Alcide that's causing the problem, so I think it was good for Debbie to go and talk to her about that. But then I did not get it at first when she was at the went to see Marnie. Mm-hmm. I did not know what was going on there. And I was really concerned. And then, Sookie starts crawling in the back window. Oh, okay, it's a diversion. This is their plan.
Yeah.
But I think there was a point where Debbie realized it was kind of going pear-shaped for Sookie, that she was not going to be able to rescue Eric. And I think that jealousy just took over for a split second, and that's when she pointed her out.
Yeah. Yeah, remembering that she's high on V, so things are gonna.
But did she actually take any? We haven't seen her
Yeah,
take
she
any.
drank the vial.
The whole thing? Okay, because I remember seeing Andy take it, but I didn't see
Yeah,
her
in
take
the alley after she got it from that guy. She drank the whole thing as she was walking away from him.
I didn't remember seeing that.
Yeah, so here she's tripping out again. So and you could see it to her jerky movements and everything as she was sitting there with Sookie. So she's actually not. I guess that kind of contributed to her back and forth, Well,
see, those movements I thought was her, like her inner turmoil, her battling with herself. I wasn't attributing that.
Yeah, well, they were mirrored Andy's. So
Oh, that's true. You're right.
So here she's tripping out. So maybe it's just that she's just got things distorted. I don't know. I've never been high on V. So, but yeah, that was weird.
Well, it seemed like when Sookie came and got in the vehicle with her after, she did escape. And she was surprised. Debbie was surprised, and it seemed like, there was a moment there of guilt, and then kind of a buck up. Okay, we're back on track now. We're gonna get this done.
See, that's what I mean. She was back and forth and back and forth. She just was kind of she was flighty. So I kind of think that she was hoping that Sookie got left behind, and then she caught her. And she's like, if I had just been a little quicker on that accelerator. So, yeah. That was pretty interesting.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to end well, that thing, that Sookie-Debbie partnership.
Yeah.
I don't think so. And meanwhile, Marcus has called in a favor from Alcide. And to be there, just to be the muscle when he tries to get Sam to toe the line as far as Luna. Which, so now we have Marcus working with Alcide and Sookie working with Debbie. That's not good. That's not.
Yikes. That's going to be.
And doesn't Alcide know who
No,
Sam is?
I was thinking about that. There has never been a scene with the two of them together. He was never.
But he knows Sookie works at Merlot,
Yeah, but he's never.
Right? So when he heard the last name, shouldn't he have known that that's the same guy?
Don't know. But he's never met him, so, I don't know. And did Marcus actually say, did he tell him his name? Didn't he just...
No, but when Tommy Sam showed up, he said, I'm Sam Merlot.
I just don't... Yeah, no, Elsie didn't really know who he was.
Because I couldn't think that he would go through with it if he knew.
I don't think he would have. Although...
If he knew the connection to Sookie.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, but now there's a big question mark too with Tommy's motivation and what he was doing there. I watched it again today, and I paid particular attention to that. And I really think that Tommy he's just impulsive, and that's all. He doesn't think anything through. He just acts and reacts, and that's all he does. And I think that's what's always getting him into trouble. And now that he has this ability, I think he was trying to redeem himself a little bit with Sam, hoping that it would be enough, but probably figuring it won't be. But, also probably figuring he's got nothing left to lose, so if he gets his butt whipped, who cares anyway? But I really think, especially when he made that comment, Sam has never been with him, but boy, his brother, whoa, he was throwing it all on himself and trying to.
Yeah, he was. So was he? Do you think he was trying to get Marcus to go after Tommy? Like to leave Sam alone?
I think
go after
so.
Tommy?
I kind of think he was trying to redirect him and steer him away from Sam, lead him off. Like I said, Tommy doesn't have anything left to lose. And he's got nowhere to go.
Yeah, his motivations had me just really confused. I thought, at one point, maybe he was just trying to get himself killed. Mm-hmm. But doing it as Sam, that didn't make sense, how that would help him, or Sam, either way.
Yeah. Yeah, he was trying to, I think that's what it was. He's trying to redeem himself. Yeah. LC to the rescue again, though. So now, yeah.
Getting awfully tangled up in all this stuff when he didn't want to.
Yeah. Well, what are you going to do? So we'll see where that leads. Maybe they'll be buddy-buddy. I don't know.
Tommy and Alcide? Yeah. That wouldn't be a bad match, really. Tommy desperately needs a mentor, and Alcide's a pretty stand-up guy, really. And he's from a long line of wares, so he would be able to, help Tommy with some of that, I don't know, just some of the burden of being a Tui.
And he's not family, so he's got no, yeah.
There's no history, yeah.
So we'll see where that goes. I don't know. I hope it does. Let's talk about Lafayette, because I could not wait to talk about this. Lafayette and Mavis story.
Nelson Ellis. Dang.
The award goes to...
That man is good. No kidding. He is exceptional.
I tell you, and then that story, Mavis's story, I just knew it was going to be very sad. When you got a mom who's looking for her baby and she's a ghost, that story's going to end sadly.
Yeah. I was really wedded to the idea that the baby wasn't actually dead. That the father had lied to her and raised his son as his legitimate son. So I was surprised, and it was really sad to find out that wasn't the baby.
It's unclear whether he killed the baby or whether the baby just died, got sick and died. It could be either way, being the day, mortality rate was back then. But now we do know how she died. Was what was his name? Master Lucas, or I
think it was Lucas.
He actually killed her and buried him together. It was sad. It was really sad. And I'd like to, I don't know. You mentioned it before. It would be great to talk to Nelson Ellis about how it was to film that, and with the baby in his arms and everything. And by the way, we now know the baby is not possessed and he's not demonic.
No, it was the doll and Mavis. The doll, it took me a little bit to figure out the connection with the house.
Me too.
The house that Jessica and Hoyt moved into, and then the doll was already there. That was Mavis's house. So that's where that connected.
Yeah, that it took me a while too. I was a little slow on the uptake last night. Or the night before, whatever. I'm still slow on the uptake right now.
Yeah, it's interesting, that plot line, actually this whole episode has been getting savaged by the critics, and I'm not sure why. The fans, it's been primarily, from what I've seen so far, the response has been quite positive.
Yeah.
So, but there are a couple of, like, Jace at Televisionary said he had watched the advance, and he just could not bring himself to watch it live to write his review. That's how much he disliked this episode. And his disdain for this episode was so great that there are typos galore in his review. He's just, and I don't understand it. I thought it was, it wasn't, I don't think it was like a standout episode, but I thought it was quite good, and I thought it had it had some really good performances, and it had a couple of really excellent scenes. The fantasy scene Sookie's dream, and then the scenes with Lafayette and as Mavis, and then Jesus coming in. All of that, I thought it was a little bit of it wasn't quite as blockbuster bombshell exciting a resolution as I kind of expected, but once I got to thinking about what we were seeing and why they put that storyline in there, I think it was valuable, and it was really an excellent showcase for Nelson and to an extent Kevin Alejandro. But when I watched that scene, what I saw was that we got it gave us it showed us, it didn't tell us, it showed us what kind of powers Lafayette has, what his ability is, and it showed us what Jesus' ability is. Instead of just saying, oh, he's a brujo, oh, he's a medium, we saw that in action. So we have a real tangible example of what it is that they each do and how they complement each other.
Now, you pair that up with Antonia and the Witch War. Now, where do you think that's going to go? It's obvious.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to me that we've been shown that they have these powers so that they can then be soldiers against Antonia. I hope, and as long as she doesn't get her hands on them. And realize what their powers are and use them for herself. But, yeah, it seems like it's being set up so that the two of them can have a really vital role in what happens in the next 3 episodes.
And I think, I think there's something else that's going to happen too, but I think we could talk about that later in the spoiler section.
I also like that it showed us why Jesus is a good nurse. We've only seen him at his job a couple of times, but this, he's good at his job. He is a good caretaker. He's a sweet soul, and to me, it showed us why he and Lafayette are so good together as well. So I didn't think it was a wasted storyline. I thought it was.
I did too.
Valuable,
and I did cry like a baby.
Yeah, I was getting awfully misty-eyed too. I had 2 people watching it with me, so I was trying not to blubber.
Well, Heather was with me, so we were both. That's probably the first time this show has made me cry like that.
Yeah. There was a guy watching with us this time. Otherwise, it would, my friend Jesse and I, we probably would have been in tears. But we were trying to keep it together. He'd never seen an episode, so he was already just completely overwhelmed with what he was seeing. We're like, really? You're coming over to watch episode 9 of season 4, and you haven't seen a single episode?
Bad timing.
Okay. Good luck.
All right. So, we had Jason and Hoyt. Jason being a sweetheart, and again being a good friend to Hoyt, but kind of getting I think he got a little bit of a shocker as to Hoyt's anger there with Jessica.
Do you think that helped him get over the hump as far as feeling like he and Jessica could?
I kind of think so. Yeah. For Jason, yes. I think that was kind of the green light, the go ahead, seeing Hoyt's anger and disgust. As far as Jason was now, this is Jason that we're talking about here, okay? So, it's not like, you or I or maybe anybody else out there, but as far as Jason's concerned, Hoyt's anger and disgust was the end. He, in his mind, okay, it's over between them, it's done. And now, and I think that, when he saw Jessica, that just the pull was too strong. Again, remember, he's had her blood. So, it's, there's that working too. And I think he was pretty drawn to that. I admire him for saying no when she invited him in. I mean, that's Bill's house.
Yeah, but then cut to the back of the truck.
Yeah, I mean, that was Bill's house,
I know, but the back of the truck.
I know, but that's Jason.
Yeah, I know, it is. It's very
Jessica
Jason.
doesn't seem to mind, So.
I think she was at that point in her post-breakup that she kind of wanted it dirty. So I guess it was okay. But I'm interested to see if they are able to continue this relationship, or if it actually becomes a relationship, and then how Hoyt reacts to that.
I love the things he was throwing in the box.
Taylor Swift.
Just sin.
That was awesome. And then Twilight. Teenage vampires.
The operative word being teenage. You know. Hence the Taylor Swift song.
Yes, and hence the, You know, I don't know of anyone that doesn't have a horrible breakup from their late teens. I mean, there may not have been a blood exchanged, but who hasn't had a box returned to them that their former significant other would surely have liked to have written a box for a monster on it, you know? I mean...
Yeah, you know, it was, as far as Hoyt was concerned, she was a monster in more ways than just being a vampire. You know, and it's breaking up is hard to do. It's never pretty. It's never pretty.
Yep.
It's always messy. And it's always even more hurtful. So, you know, in character there, in character. So, we got no Pam, which is, I miss Pam, but I think Nan is a pretty decent replacement when Pam's not there.
Yes, I love that we got to see more of Nan, and that she was, oh, Jessica. She got no sympathy. None.
Poor Jess. She had no one to talk. She needs a girlfriend.
She does. And not a snarky, cold person like Pam or Nan. She needs, you know, she really needs Sookie. Yeah, but
Sookie's very busy. But Nan, here's someone who's got blinders on. Her focus, I think we saw her agenda revealed. She's all for the glory and the fame. Do you get that too?
I'm starting to see that, yeah. That I think she probably started out with the best of intentions, but I think as the vampires, you know, once the initial goal was reached, that they were out of the coffin, and she then became sort of the face of vampires, I think it started to go to her head.
Yeah, I think she's there. I think Bill was absolutely right about her. You know, that exchange between the two of them was interesting. It was very funny.
It was hilarious.
Did you see the look on Jessica's face when Bill tells her off? She's like, "Go, Dad." I thought that was cute.
Yeah.
But Bill totally has her pegged, you know, and he is king, but it kind of puzzled me why she could just order him around, you know. But Bill was a reluctant king in the beginning. She actually put him in that position, you know, and I think Bill is just making the best of the situation. And then he kind of got used to it, so, and he's good at it, you know, but with her, it's not the same. You know, she seems to have, here again, she pulls the authority card. We still don't know who the authority is. It's definitely not the AVL.
And it doesn't sound like Bill knows either.
But we know that the authority and AVL are separate entities. So, that's been made clear. But we still don't know who this authority is, and it's killing me.
Yeah, and I think it's really pissing off Bill, too. I think he's feeling like, you know what, I've been following your mandates for like 25 years now, and I still don't know. I mean, the mandates are starting to not make sense to him, and he's feeling like he needs to talk to the ones that are sending this down. He wants to talk to the source, and Nan's not going to let him. So I think there may be a showdown.
I think so too. And as we saw at the end of that episode, Bill was totally right in everything he said to her, and she wouldn't listen to him. And look what happens. Okay. Total bloodbath. Bodies flying in the air, which was kind of fun.
Funny. I'm sorry.
Was funny.
That was funny.
And it was like a Kiss concert. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, Bill is extremely smart. Smarter than Nan, apparently. Like I said, I don't think Nan, I think she's just blind, just like he said. She's totally so focused that it's really making her dangerous.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it is.
So, all right. And then we had Luna and Sam, who are just adorable. I thought it was cute that Sam turned into a bunny for Emma.
I thought it was disturbing that Sam turned into a bunny for Emma. I mean, I get it that it was a nice gesture and he was doing something nice for Emma, but that was weird. That was just weird. Yes. Oh, it's a bunny. No, it's not. It's Sam.
Yeah, but you're not supposed to think that way.
I don't care. That's what I thought. I was like, when he went behind the tent, I was like, no. And then sure enough, here he comes. No. That's not right.
It was cute.
It's not a parlor trick. You know, it's not a parlor trick.
I know. But you know what? I liked how they filmed, not filmed, but how they showed the contrasting scenes between the brothers. You know? Sam's getting some, and Tommy's getting something else. And it wasn't as nice as what his brother was getting. And
I guess that was the first time that the real Sam and Luna had been together, huh? Yeah.
So and then the fact that Tommy had just told Marcus that Sam had never done anything, never touched Luna. And at the very same time, meanwhile, back at the tent,
Sam's touching
a lot.
Luna.
She didn't seem to be bothered by it. So I thought that was pretty interesting how they did that.
Yeah. Yeah, it was an interesting juxtaposition.
That's the word. I can't say it, so I'm not gonna.
The word for this week is
my word of the day.
juxtaposition.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need those calendars that Suki has.
Okay, what are we missing? Andy's still, hyped up on V. I don't know what's going to pull him out of that. I kind of hope.
I don't know, but Jason's getting more and more worried about it.
I hope so too. I think Jason's had about enough as much as is going to take from Andy, and I think this thing with Lafayette and everybody and his brother, his cousin with Terry, that was pretty intense there.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we should mention Terry he was struggling there. His PTSD was coming out, and he's been doing really well for quite some time and handling hysterical Arlene for the last year or so. And he's been doing great, but this was, bless his heart. And he knows that he's not the baby's biological father, but he cares that much for baby Mikey.
I really like that.
That
scene really showed just how much, it was killing him that he couldn't go in there. I thought it was funny that Arlene still, even to that very moment, believed it was Renee that took Mikey away from her. Oh, Arlene.
Well, now maybe she can be at peace too, Now that she's seen that all go down and had the explanation.
Yeah.
Maybe she
So
can be at peace.
none of that had anything to do with what happened with her and Holly in the woods that night. None of it.
Oh, well.
And again, I have to say, kudos to the showrunners who made us go there. Totally took us. We followed that red herring all the way to the end.
And they're sitting there going, ha-ha, made you look.
And they do that every season, don't they? They do it all the time.
Send us down some bunny trail, and then, meanwhile, over here, all the real stuff's
I think it's
going
hilarious. Down. Well, I think that's it.
I think that is all that we have for this episode. A lot.
Then we're going to move into our Ring Ring Hookah, and I think my quote of the night has to be when Sookie said to Dream, Eric, and Bill, I propose that two of you are mine, for reasons that we already talked about.
That was excellent. Mine was when Jesus tells Mavis, I want my Lafayette back. I thought that was very sweet and just kind of underlined what a great relationship the two of them have.
All right, so I think that's it for that part of our program. We're going to actually move into spoilers. We do have a couple of juicy ones that we want to get to, so if you don't want to be spoiled, shut us off, turn us down. We'll see you next week. However, if you're into spoilers, here we go.
We've got the final two synopses for the last two episodes of Season 4. Get ready. Okay, episode 411 is called Soul of Fire. As the Wiccan vampire standoff reaches a critical juncture, Sookie summons her fairy powers to prevent Marnie from bewitching Bill, Eric, and Pam into a suicide march, while Jesus casts a secret spell designed to unbind Antonia and break the witch's deadly defenses. Aha! Sam settles the score with Marcus. Alcide confronts Debbie about her allegiances. Andy finds unexpected passion in the forest. And Lafayette is consumed by the past. So we are going to see the Jesus' abilities as a brujo come into play again. And it sounds like Lafayette's going to be channeling again. So both of those things are coming back into play. Debbie's in trouble. Sookie's going to be using her fairy powers. Yay! Yay, Sookie! And it says Sookie summons her fairy powers, so maybe she's starting to have better
that'd just be
control
cool.
over it. It would. Andy finds unexpected passion in the forest. I don't know. He finds Sookie and Eric in the forest. I don't know. Because if you think about it, Alcide and Debbie found an unexpected passion in the forest. So.
See, now this is what I was talking about, what I thought when we were talking about Lafayette and Jesus and their abilities now. I could totally see Antonia leaving Marnie but going into Lafayette. Causing more complications. Especially for Jesus.
Yeah. Because he'd be the one that cast the spell that pulled her out of Marnie and possibly into Lafayette.
Antonia is not stupid.
Liz.
And she's still very angry. That's going to be interesting to see how they finally get rid of her.
Yeah. Well, when I talked to Paula, when we interviewed her, I asked her if she would be back next season, and she wasn't able to tell me definitively. But that storyline is not decisively ended. I think I can say that. Yeah, I actually had that part of the interview in the write-up, and then her publicist said, "Ooh, no, she just told me that she told you that. We can't do that." So I know what the end game is, but I'm not allowed to say.
Well, all right. So episode 412, which is the season finale, is going to be, we're going to go out in true blood fashion. It's called And When I Die. It's Samhain. I actually looked it up so that I could not mispronounce it because I don't want to get any more hate mail than I already get, especially from my Alcide comments. So Alcide fans are going to be like, "What's the matter with you?" Any hoodles, it's the Wicca's greatest holy day, and spirits of the dead surface in Bon Temps, giving Sookie some valuable allies to combat Marnie's newest incarnation. Lafayette's latest medium encounter imperils his relationship with Jesus. Jason finds confession good for the soul, but not for the body. Alcide makes a heartfelt appeal to the woman he loves. Terry receives an unexpected visitor at Merlotte's. Sam and Luna envision a storybook ending for once, for poor Sam. Nan wears out her welcome with Bill and Eric. Yes! As season 4 comes to a shattering conclusion, Debbie confronts Sookie and Tara with deadly consequences, and the denizens of Bon Temps brace for a new crisis with a familiar face. I love this.
Russell Edgington!
Daddy's
gotta
back.
Be him, right? It's gotta be him.
Yes. I don't know. I think it is. I know a lot of people are hoping it is. But that is the general feeling. So, but anyway, there you go. Lafayette's latest medium encounter. Don't you think, Antonia? Yeah.
Yeah, it has to be.
Elsteed makes a heartfelt appeal to the woman he loves. We don't know who that is. I hope so.
Just the way that's worded to make us think it's Sookie makes me think it's Debbie.
Terry's unexpected visitor. We already got the spoiler for that in the casting call before the season even started. This is going to be a pal from his military days. So that's going to be interesting. There's a new character that's actually going to be in next season. What was his name again? I didn't remember. We did have a name.
All I'm remembering is the actor's name. It's, shoot, what is his name? Is it...
Well, in any case, this is our first look at a new character who's going to be in season 5. And I don't know if Luna's going to be around next season.
Patrick Devin.
Ah. So as far as Sam and Luna, I don't know how that's going to turn out. I hope it turns out well for Sam. But I really got excited about the Nan wears out her welcome with Bill and Eric.
Yeah.
I hope it's the two of them together against her.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot to look forward to. As we wind up, we finish all the storylines, they all come together, and of course launch, lay the foundation for next season, which I think is going to be pretty exciting too.
I wonder how they're going to top this Witch War thing, though, because I thought that was one of the best season-long arcs that they've had.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I thought it was totally interesting. And if they're not going to be run out of town, maybe we'll see them. I don't know. But if Russell comes back, I think that's going to be...
And out for revenge. Yeah, I guess I could see how they could top this. Russell on the warpath.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They need to bring in, what they need to do? They need to bring in Klaus from the Vampire Diaries to take care of Russell. Have a Vampire Diaries crossover. Bring Klaus. He'll know how to take care of him. He can't be killed. So, all right. I think that's it for our spoilers. So, that's our show for the week. Be sure to stop by True-Blood.net for the latest True Blood news, spoilers, and more during the week. You can also follow us on Twitter at True-Blood.net. And thank you all for joining us.
We also want to thank Minda for editing our podcast. She's doing such a great job for us. You can subscribe to True Blood Radio on iTunes at the link now showing on the screen. And don't forget to send in your comments or questions to webmaster at True-Blood.net. We'd love to hear from you. We'll see you next week. Bye, Trubies.
Bye.